Okay, so I will screen share in just a little bit, but what I'm going to do first is actually mute all of you guys. That way it's not too loud with everybody just making noise and stuff. But if you have a question, please let me know, because you can just unmute yourself. There's like a little button. You can just unmute it and ask your question, and I'll make sure I stop every so often too, just to make sure we're all on the same page. So thank you guys for hopping on. I know some of you guys are my personal coaches and some of you guys are just within the crew and you have another sponsor. So either way, I'm so glad that you're here. This is kind of a time for me just to chat with you and make sure everyone's kind of on the same page, / has, some answers to their questions. And I know that, a lot of you guys, so some of you guys may have just signed up like this week or today or the day before. And some of you guys may be new coaches from the last couple weeks. So doesn't matter where you're at. All that matters is that you're here and you're getting some information. If you're new and you barely started your training, then some of this stuff may be like, I don't know what this is, and it's coming. You'll actually hear that in your training, so don't worry. And then some of you guys maybe way past this and may have all your questions answered, and maybe you're just here just because you want to see if there's anything else that you can get from it, which is great. So, and some of you guys may be here just to kind of like get a reboot if you were a coach previously and just kind of are getting back into things. So whatever you're here for, I'm really glad that you're here. My name's Ashley, as most of you guys know. The Inspiration Crew is my big team, and I'm so excited that you guys are all here. And a new coach is one of my most favorite groups of people, I guess you could say, to work with, because it's so fun to get you guys just in and get you guys going and get you, to feel a little bit more confident as you start sharing your story, because that's like the most just rewarding part of what we do as coaches. So with that, I have my list, because otherwise I'll forget of all the things I want to talk about. So first of all, I want to make sure you guys are all in your training. So you guys know that we have our new coach training that's on that website. Is there anybody who does not have that, or is like, I don't know what you're talking about? If you're a brand new coach, one of my new 3 coaches that just signed up today, then you probably don't even know that yet. But so we host our training with our upline team, Team Inspiration, on an external website. So that's where you're going to get all of your new coach training. That's where you're going to get all of the bigger details on Enroll and Success Club and some of these words and things that you guys may not even know yet. And that's kind of where we push you to go for your training. It's nice. We actually used to do it where it was like every day there was a different post and you kind of had to keep up, and then people who would not be on that schedule got really overwhelmed. So now it's self-paced, but don't let that freak you out. It's self-paced because we want you to be able to go at your own pace. We want for you to be able to get your information as you need it. If you've got a crazy busy schedule and can't do a module every single day, that's okay. So this is your story, you guys. This is your journey, your new coach journey. So whatever you can handle and as fast as you can get through those, that is okay. So I want you to know that first. A lot of you guys are a new coach, little message pods and stuff, if you're one of my coaches, and sometimes that can be good and sometimes that can be bad. It can kind of be overwhelming and you're like, I'm not as fast as all of them. And that's okay. You can do it on your own time. The big thing that matters is that you're just getting into your training and you're starting to learn this stuff. If you forget all of it, totally fine. I promise it'll come back up. You'll remember some of the words. Believe me, I didn't have any of this when I was a new coach. So I didn't have this kind of training. I didn't have this kind of support. So from the beginning of when I became a new coach, I started saving all my stuff and all my resources. And I wanted to make it a different experience for my new coaches than I had. So, hopefully that is helpful to you. Don't let it overwhelm you. Let it just be this nice reassurance that you have so many resources at your fingertips. But if you don't know everything and you don't understand everything, totally okay. We want you to feel like that so that you can come to us and ask us questions. That's totally fine. Okay, so that's a little bit about your training. The biggest thing that I want to make sure, I'm going to go into some tactical things and make sure you know how to get to certain things. But the biggest thing that I want to make sure to talk about first is kind of that question of, what am I supposed to be doing right now? That's the number one question I get from new coaches. Like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? I feel like, okay, I signed up and I filled out your welcome form. Now what do I do? Okay, that's the biggest question that I get. And I don't want for you to overthink it. The biggest thing that you should be doing is just getting started with sharing you. Share your story. That is the biggest thing. All of you guys became coaches. I'm sure none of you guys signed up and were like, I want to be a saleswoman. I want to sell stuff, right? None of you guys signed up thinking that. All of you guys were like, oh my gosh, I want to be a part of this community. I want to be a part of this. Like, I want to feel that positivity and that confidence and that change. And that's exactly why we want you to be here. We want for you to start just being what they say, a product of the product. It's the best way to keep the joy in what we do as coaches when you're not thinking about, okay, I've got to get people to buy, the 21-day fix or Shakeology or things like that. People will want to do what you're doing. They'll be inspired by what you're doing if you just consistently share about it. So that's what we want for you to focus on. Every day, I want for you just to show up on your social media and start getting comfortable with that. It's scary to share your story. We know that. I was the same way. I was so nervous to start sharing my story, was not very active on social media or anything like that. And once you just kind of start, just putting yourself out there little by little, it starts to get easier and you start to see people be inspired by you. And that's what's really cool. That's the part that is so rewarding about coaching, is that the more that you put yourself out there, you allow yourself to be able to get that return. You allow yourself to be able to get that community with others and be able to help people without selling to them. So every day, I have coaches that ask me this all the time, and I posted this on our team page not that long ago, but I want for you to write these 5 kind of like categories down for yourself, okay? So when you're in your new coach training and when you're a new coach, you guys always hear, okay, so you're going to post 3 to 5 times a day. How many of you guys have heard that? Some of y'all have heard that from your trainings and things. And I'm sure you were like, yeah, right. I'm not going to post 3 to 5 times a day. What the heck am I going to post about? And I promise you, if you think about it like this, it makes it a little bit easier, okay? So when you're thinking every day, you're going to wake up and you're like, okay, what kind of stuff could I share today that's not going to be like, okay, why is she posting again? So if you think of these five different categories, it helps you a little bit to kind of be not, beating a dead horse, saying the same thing over again, but you're also adding value through everything that you're doing by just sharing the different things that you're doing with Beachbody as a coach, but it's really just changing your life, right? So one thing is something motivational. If you guys follow coaches, actually Maggie and Allie are 2 of my coaches that are on this call right now, and they're your coach, if you guys have if they have some new coaches on here. But they do, you'll see the same thing if you were to go to their pages every day, but something motivational every day. You guys, this could be something from your personal development. It could be something from, like a motivational quote that you like, or if you're religious, a Bible verse, something that touches you that day, something that you can then turn around and so you're going to share it, but talk about why it spoke to you, and also maybe like a question or a takeaway or something that you could ask other people, like what they think about that, or, what inspires you, or how can you find joy today, things like that. And this is something that I do every day. Maybe I forget a couple days, but almost every day, something motivational. And I encourage you guys to, from the very beginning, put your own flavor on it. So don't just take a motivational picture or a quote picture from Pinterest. Maybe go there and find that quote that you really like, but then make it your own. There are so many awesome apps for this. The one that I love the most is Word Swag. It's one word, Word Swag. And it's a really awesome app to take pictures. As a new coach, just start taking pictures of dang near everything, every single day. Like, just fill your phone up with pictures. Things of what you're eating, a random glimpse of yourself in the mirror that you catch, pictures of your kids, whatever you can kind of fill your phone up with. So then, okay, you have nothing to post. You just woke up and you've got no makeup on, and you don't want to post a picture of you, but you're like, oh, I have this really great, picture of looking out at my backyard or something. Okay, so grab that picture, go over to Word Swag, put that awesome quote over it, and post it and share something motivational with people. It's so crazy how easy it is to think of something when you think about it like that. Don't overthink it. Just take random pictures, put something motivational on it, share about it, and a lot of times you'll get feedback on it. Okay, so motivation is something that you can always post about every single day. Something that inspires people. It's something that sheds a little positive light every single day in this crazy negative world that we live in. And I know for a fact that people love seeing that because that's what I've done, and that's what people have told me that they love seeing on my page. Okay, so that's motivation. Fitness, right? Now, every day, this is where fitness and nutrition is where it can get really easy to say the same thing over and over again. So this is where I want to give you guys some ideas. Okay, so every day, your second and your third thing that you could post about is something nutritional and something fitness related. If it's fitness related, you guys could share a video clip of yourself, you doing your workout. It could be your favorite workout move from your program. It could be a picture of you, a picture of you looking down at your shoes or something. But then you're talking about using Beachbody on Demand, or talking about how you love the program that you're doing because of X, Y, and Z. The main thing is that when you're sharing about fitness and you working out and stuff, you want to make sure that you're adding a lot of value behind it, not just, okay, so what? She just posted that she worked out today. Great, she works out every day. But more than that, why is she doing this program? She keeps posting about this workout that she's doing every day, and you don't even have to say the word of the program if you don't want to. The more that you add value and you're like, man, it combines like cardio and working and working my muscles, or I did my workouts are via, this like streamable online thing. It's kind of like Netflix. It's so awesome. The more you're adding value to it, again, you're making people think about what you're doing and seeing that you love it so much without ever being like, hey, buy the 21 Day Fix and do this program with me. You guys kind of see the difference, how it's more about sharing your story and what you're doing than sharing the products and things like that. Same thing goes for nutrition. Post a recipe, you guys, or a picture of your breakfast. It's amazing how many people don't know what healthy eating looks like, or don't know what it's like to be healthy, or maybe they just don't even know, they have a big sweet tooth. I always do pictures of like desserts and like little like sweet tooth hacks that I have, because I have a huge sweet tooth, and that's something that people just don't know how to even combat. But if I was to post, a picture of apples with peanut butter and a few chocolate chips on them, that's a really great, easy tip to give somebody of an easy dessert that's totally guilt-free. So giving ideas like that, whether it's a recipe or a meal that you're eating, maybe it's a cool product that you found at the grocery store, and you're sharing about it because you know that you've got people that go to Trader Joe's or Publix or things like that. So think about that. Get creative with nutrition and things like that. So those are 3 really big ways that you can post something different every single day, but adding value in different ways. Does that make sense, kind of? Another thing you can share about, so as a coach, you guys are doing personal development. This kind of goes in line with the motivation, but personal development, you guys are going to get started, and if you're not into your new coach training yet, you will be. And we talk a lot about personal development. This is a relationship business. It can be emotional at times. You're being vulnerable, and you're sharing your life, and you're putting yourself out there, which is scary to do. And you can get people that maybe don't agree with what you're doing, or maybe when you're trying to fill up a challenge group and you don't get as many people interested, or people tell you no. There's all kinds of things that can happen that can make you feel like you're on a high one day, and the next day you're like, oh, dang it, nobody wants to join me, and it's just part of the process. Believe me, you'll feel like a crazy person sometimes, but that is the process, and that is the exciting part, because the second that you get that one person that's inspired by what you're doing, it makes all those no's and all those people who didn't want to join you so worth it. So personal development is huge with that. That is what really works on your mind. That's what helps you be able to be a positive light and a positive coach and a positive person in this business. And that's what you're here for. You are here to shed positivity on everybody, to not be perfect, but to share your journey and to have good and have bad days, but always have this silver lining on it, a way that you can have a good outlook on life because of the way that you've been kind of working on yourself. So personal development is really big. You're going to get some examples and things like that. And in our Google Drive, there's actually a whole folder on personal development. And there's a list among lists of different books that work for you. Now, as new coaches, I always suggest that you start with something like The Slight Edge. You can actually listen to it on YouTube for free. You can stream the whole book there if you want to, or if you're a tangible person, it's really not very expensive on like Amazon Prime or something like that, or maybe you can find it at the library even. But the Slight Edge is a great one. And then there's like, so many other ones. But after you read that first one, what I really like to suggest, or have you guys, I have my new coaches kind of come to me with, is to kind of say, okay, here's where I feel like either I'm struggling, or I feel like this is the kind of book that I could really benefit from, or maybe they're struggling with, like productivity or confidence, or hearing rejections, hearing no's. And that's where I'm kind of like, okay, and then we kind of set up a time and we figure out a book that works for you. The biggest thing with personal development is it's very important that you're reading things that relate to you where you are. You can read a million. How many of you guys have read a book and you're like, I'm reading it because everyone told me it's so good, but it's like you're not really into it, but you're reading it just because someone told you to. That is what we don't want you to do. We don't want for you to waste your time just reading a book because we said it's a good one. There's plenty of awesome books to read and listen to. You can use Audible. I always listen to my personal development from my phone. So I just stream it on Audible, or you can go to the podcast app. But, so I want to make sure that you guys, after you kind of read that initial first book, that you're reading something that makes sense to where you are. So that way you're really inspired by it and it's actually helping you rather than just becoming this nuisance of a thing that you do every single day. Okay, so that's personal development. And the last kind of two categories that kind of go hand in hand is just kind of more your lifestyle. So sharing about when I have new coaches come in, a lot of times they feel like they have to completely separate everything, where they're like, well, this used to be like my Facebook and me and what I did, but now it has to be all Beachbody. And that's so not true. That's the number one thing I want for you guys to realize, is that Beachbody and coaching, what you're doing as coaches, it's just going to kind of play itself into the things that you normally do, your workouts, the things that you eat. That's just stuff that you're doing to better your lifestyle and things that you can share about. Personal development is going to change every little bit of who you are and how you interact with people in your relationships. I promise you, because I know I have been there. I am so much of a different person now than I was before I became a coach. I was way more negative and just nitpicky about things. And now I have this greater, more positive outlook on life. And it's been something that I totally attribute to personal development and becoming a coach. So with your lifestyle type things, don't stop sharing about your family and things that you love to do. Still be you and share something about the stuff that you're doing every day. If you're a mom, if you're a teacher, if you're a nurse, things that you do that make you you. Again, that's what people are going to relate to. So does that kind of give you guys a little bit of a good idea of kind of what you could be sharing about on your pages? That's like the number one thing I get from new coaches is like, what do I share about? I don't know what to do. I'm like, do what you normally do. Do what you're doing every single day and just share about it. Kind of like people are just getting a little glimpse into your life every single day. So hopefully that puts you a little bit at ease and gives you guys some ideas of things to share about. Does anyone have questions about that before I move on to like some of the more tactical things? That way I don't lose anybody. I'm going to go through both pages here. There's 2 pages of y'all. Okay, awesome. All right, well, I'm going to continue on. Let me cross off because I lose my spot here. Okay, so we talked a little bit about training and a little bit about kind of what to focus on and things like that. So the next thing I want to make sure that you guys kind of know about are some of the resources that are available to you. So obviously you have your new coach training that's on the website, and you guys got those steps to get into that via your Google form that you filled out when you became a new coach. So I don't know, Maggie and Allie, I think they do the same thing as I do with getting the Google forms, and you're getting some little bit of information and then kind of your steps into your new coach training. So that's what we're talking about there. But I want to go ahead and screen share really quickly and show you guys a couple more things. So can you guys see this, the Google Drive? Yeah? Okay, the link to this is also in our team page, but you're going to get the link to this as well in your new coach training. But this is our Inspiration Crew Google Drive. So from the very beginning, I told you guys I didn't have a lot of resources or help when I became a coach. So I started saving literally everything that I could when I was a new coach so that you could have these resources. Again, upon first look, it can seem overwhelming, but that's just to give you resources. The great thing is that you should just know that you have help if you need it. Don't freak out about knowing the ins and out of everything right now. This is just so you know that everything's there. So for example, if you were, I don't know what this is over there. Okay. If you were, looking for, like I said, personal development recommendations, this is kind of where I told you there's some lists of different personal development books and things like that. When you start doing challenge groups, which we're going to talk about in a minute, every challenge group I've ever hosted is in here with posting schedules and ideas, graphics that I use to do those, as well as some of our other coaches and leaders have added their stuff in here. So this is all in here just to kind of give you guys some ideas, especially when you start doing free groups and doing some of your first groups together. So I do encourage you just to kind of go through here and kind of look through and see what's in this Google Drive. If you go to the coach resource folder, there is so much stuff in here, things about Success Club, if you don't really understand what that is, even after we talk about it in a minute. Things like, there's some things about getting your coaches started right. I mean, there's just so much stuff in here. So I do encourage you guys to kind of check in here. There's some examples of scripts, what you could send to people if you're talking about, okay, how do I talk to somebody about a challenge group, or how do I tell them about, a program or something like that. All of that stuff is in here to help you. So of course, you have me as a resource and your upline coach, but I just want you to know that this is a really awesome resource for you as well, just to have ideas and stuff. There's message examples and things like that. One thing I want to lead into next, because since we're on here, is your power hour. So your power hour is something that you're going to hear a lot of. It's kind of our thing that we talk about when we say, when you're going to go to work, quote unquote, as a coach. There's a lot of coaches who work full-time. There's a lot of coaches who are full-time coaches. There's a lot of coaches who coach on the side, in between being a nurse or being a teacher or being a businesswoman, and they just kind of make it work. But what we talk about is a power hour, and that's kind of the way that we track what we're doing in our business and how we're being, successful, and making sure that we're building relationships with people and connecting with them, and that you're also doing everything that you need to be doing every single day. So this is our Power Hour folder. There are a lot of options of ones that you can use. However, the one that is definitely used the most is this Coach and Power Hour. This is the most recent one. It's also listed in our team page as one of the first files in there. And this is one that I created for our team just a couple months ago. It's kind of the most updated one, as far as it's exactly what I do every day, you guys. So, there's people ask me, they're like, do you do something different than I'm doing right now as a new coach? And I'm like, no, I'm giving you everything that I do too. So this is our Empower Hour. And if you were to use this, you'd print it out one time for the entire week. So print it out on Sunday, and it goes Sunday all the way through Saturday. Then you could print it out again, and it would be the whole entire thing. Okay, so there's places for you to have some notes and stuff. And what I do, I print it out double-sided for the whole week, and I just put a little staple in it. You can write out some of your goals. If you have monthly goals for yourself, it's kind of fun to remind yourself of goals. That's something that we've been working on a lot more in our team, is it kind of feels good to work for something, to have something that you're working for. So, reminding yourself of goals like that. Team call notes. This is for you guys right here, this top part. This is your kind of coach to-do list of things that you should be doing as a new coach. Listening to the National Wake Up Call and your Google form that you filled out when you first became a coach. This was on there. The link to you can actually get text from it, but it's every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And it's a really great way to just get a little mini training, and you hear from other coaches and people who are just awesome and sharing what they're doing in the business to be successful. And it's kind of a really fun way knowing that all of the other coaches in the network are on that same call with you live, which is kind of cool. Every month I will post a calendar, a team calendar for us. And actually the April one I'll be posting tonight after we get off this call. Kind of planning out your weeks. If you guys are full-time workers, or even if you're not, if you're moms and you're busy at home all day, having a way for you to schedule out your posts is a really great idea, especially if you know that you're going to be busy. Kind of plan out a few things that you're going to post for the day. And that will help ease your mind so much more. So maybe even just one post a day that you have already ready to go would help so much. That's what I used to do on Sunday nights when I was a teacher. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I did that too. Checking in with your coach. You guys, we as sponsors, and myself included, we will reach out to you, but we also need you to reach out to us. That's the only way that we know if you need help or that you need support, is if you are in contact with us too. It does not annoy us. It does not make us think that you're not smart because you don't know the answer to your question. It's a good thing. We love hearing from you so that we can support you and make sure that you get started on the right foot and that you're feeling confident. It's scary to help that first person with a challenge pack or to post that first new coach invite or something like that. I know it's scary. We know that, and we want to be there to support you. And then just going through messages and stuff. So this part kind of comes once you start having your own coaches, which will be a little bit down the road. So we'll talk about that later. Here's just a little sheet where you can plan out your week. If you're a planner like me, I like to write out all my stuff and kind of know what I'm expecting to do over the week. So that's kind of something helpful. Now, this is where we're going to get into what your power hour looks like. So every day, when you print this out, you've got a left side, and then this is the right side of the day. So this is, for example, Sunday. Every day, you guys your vital behaviors as a coach are to do your personal development. So that could be like just 10 minutes of listening to something on your podcast or reading something in your book, doing your workout, drinking your Shakeology, and then we're going to talk about what invites and things like that look like in just a second. Okay, planning your post. Here's just kind of like a daily list of notes or things that you want to remind yourself to do that day. And if you like to track your food, I kind of added a little food tracker in there. Okay, now this is what your power hour looks like. So if you were to have just 1 hour a day, every day, to work your coaching business, this is what you would do. Okay, so in here, these are your friend requests. So one of the biggest things that we always say is that this is a relationship business. And what I mean by that is that you are constantly, you're building relationships with people. That is one of the greatest joys of being a coach, is getting to meet new people. All of you guys are here as new coaches, and your upline coach, me or Allie or Maggie or one of the other coaches, they become this person that you met through social media, and it's like you're in this new relationship together, and it's so cool. I think it blows my mind every time I think about it, because I'm like, of our entire team of thousands of coaches, it's so cool that all of us met via social media by somebody reaching out to them or becoming friends that way. So one of the greatest things that we get to do is just kind of build relationships with people. So every day we encourage you to kind of add some people to your network. That helps you to continue to be having new people to talk to. So this could be, mutual friends that you have in common with somebody. It could be people, if you're big into Instagram, this is a great place to do it, by following and finding new people to connect with based on them liking the same things that you like. And then what I have here is this little checkbox. And what you'll do is you'll check it once you've been adding value to them. So what I mean by that is not just friend requesting them and then never saying anything to them, but friend request them and then go talk to them. Maybe send them a quick message, or not about coaching, just like saying hi, introducing yourself, or telling them, hey, we actually have a mutual friend in common. I wanted to see, did you go to this college, or did you, were you in this mom's group? Things like that, or, commenting on pictures and stuff. Just making them feel good, you guys, spreading that positivity around just a little bit. Okay, then you've got challenge group invites and coach invites. So as you start kind of getting your feet wet with coaching and getting into the groove of posting and sharing and things like that, that's when you'll start doing some invitations. And when we invite to challenge groups, obviously that's to our accountability groups. As new coaches, a lot of times you won't have an accountability group that you are hosting on your own yet. Some people come in as girls who were in a challenge group before, maybe for a couple months, and they're ready to go. They're ready to host their challenge group, and that's awesome. But for me, I have a lot of coaches who are not usually ready for that. And so what I let them do is that they can post about the next upcoming challenge group, for example, my April group. And if they have anyone that gets interested that wants to start their fitness journey with a program in Shakeology, and they are more than welcome to come into my challenge group. They get support from me and their coach, which is great. So that's challenge groups, and then coaching invites as well, inviting people to do what you're doing. So the biggest way that makes it so easy as a new coach to start kind of letting people see what you're doing and what you're loving is to keep sharing and posting consistently, like the things that I shared about, previously, talking about how cool is it that you started this little side job and you're getting to hang out with other ladies at 8 p.m., virtually. It's so fun, you're in your PJs or, sharing about little things like that may seem simple, but to somebody who's really looking for that community or looking for that kind of relationship, it's pretty awesome to get to share that every, couple of weeks or whatever with them. So this is where you would be tracking your coach invites and challenge groups once you start doing your power hours. Follow-up list, this is when you have people who say that they're interested in something. If Maggie said, hey, I want to know more about coaching, then I would write her name right here and I'd say dash and I'd make myself a little note about send her, a video on coaching or something like that. And I would write up my follow-up list here, making sure that I don't let anyone slip through the cracks. So you guys can see that over the course of time, this sheet helps you to keep track of everyone that you're talking to. And the reason that that is so important is so that you can remember who you're talking to. You can remember to reach back out to people. This is, again, a relationship business. So you want to keep in contact with people who are interested in things that you're doing and make sure that they, that they know that they're important to you so that you can continue sharing and giving them information too. Questions about the Google Drive or Power Hour stuff? Anyway, I do see a chat down here. A question about saving the file. I created that's from Lauren. A separate place to save it. Talking about Google Forms, Lauren. You can unmute here. I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
No, I saw that the one that I had created today for my questionnaire was under your documents. So I didn't know if when we save things ours just automatically goes onto there or if there's a separate place that we should be putting.
Yeah, if you guys have your own Gmail or whatever, it should, when you click the little dots or you say file, make a copy, you'll make a copy of it, rename it, and save it, and then you move it wherever you want to put it in your own Google Drive.
Okay. I don't know what.
I can maybe help you. We'll have to screen share later. You and I can hop on another time and I'll help you look at it. Okay. Anyone else have any questions about that kind of stuff? I want to talk on a couple other little quick things and then I'll kind of leave it open for questions and stuff before we hop off. There's so much stuff to talk about as new coaches, so I'm trying to just touch on a few little things briefly because you are going to be getting a lot of this information in your trainings. So I'm going to touch on 3 or 4 more little things, and again, very briefly, because you're going to get this in your new coach training. So if you still have questions after you get to that point, then please reach out to myself or whoever your coach is. So the next thing I want to talk about really quickly is Success Club. So how many of you have heard the word Success Club already in your trainings and such? Okay, and some of you guys already have Success Club points. But so let's talk about this. So Success Club is the, official term that they use in Beachbody to talk about helping somebody get started on their health and fitness journey. On our team, we always say helping people. You'll see me post, boards and things that have people's names with a number next to it, saying how many points they have for the month. And that's just a way to say, okay, every 2 points is a person. That means that they have helped a person get started on their health and fitness journey. They have helped somebody choose a program or choose Shakeology or both. And they're getting started in an accountability group. So that is, Success Club is the way that we kind of measure, us moving forward. There's no, contract or there's no quota you have to meet as a new coach. That's something very different about Beachbody. However, we do a lot of times kind of have our own goals in mind. We have our own goals for ourselves and what we want to do as far as, okay, this month I really want to help 3 new people get started, or I want to help 10 new people get started on their health and fitness journey. So whatever your goal is, I do encourage you to at least have one so that you have something to be working towards. When you have a goal, a lot of times it makes you work a little bit harder, right? You want to make those good posts and you want to connect with people because you desperately want to have 3 people that you get to share about, this not this business, but these products and these programs with them because you believe in them so much. So that is what Success Club, the technical term is Success Club. It is, showing a different amount of points per challenge pack that you sell. But we on our team like to talk about it as helping people. We like to think about it as a person that you're helping get started because that is so much more fun and so much more meaningful than just points and money and things like that. So if you wanted a kind of a good game plan of, as a new coach, what should my goal be for Success Club? We always talk about, Success Club 5 or 6 is really helping 3 people get started with a challenge pack. And that is helping you to make back the cost of your Shakeology and your program that you got started with as a new coach. So if you are a new coach and that's your goal, then I would definitely write that down to make that your goal in your first 3 months of the business. So every month to find 3 new people to help. And a lot of times it ends up being family and friends and people that know you already because they're going to see your transformation. You're going to feel a little bit more at ease sharing stuff with them because there's not this, they're not a stranger, right? So, Success Club 5 or 6, I think there has to be 6 now because everything's only worth 2 points, is definitely a great goal to have for yourself if you're wanting to kind of move your business forward a little bit and also make back the cost of your Shakeology. So if you were to make that your goal, you'd be searching for 3 people in your first month as a coach, in your second month, in your third month, and then after that too. But when you do that, when you help 3 people in your first 3 full months of the business, you become something that they call a success starter. And when that happens, that means that you've helped 9 people, right, over the course of your first 3 months, but 3 people every single month consecutively, you actually get a free ticket to Summit, which Summit is our big coach conference. So I can't even explain it because words don't even do it justice, but it is the most incredible event. All the coaches from everywhere, all over the world come and gather in the city. So this year it's in New Orleans, and it used to be in Nashville. It was in Vegas before that. And this year they're moving to New Orleans. So, but it's a great place. You meet all the trainers of the people who do the programs that you are doing. You meet some awesome coaches that you might admire and follow. You meet me and your coach. And other coaches on our team, and you get some awesome trainings, you do live workouts. It's just such a cool experience to feel like, you can feel almost kind of alone sometimes if you're just, in your own home and you're doing your own stuff, but then you kind of hop on team calls like this and you remember that you're a part of the team, and then you get to events like that and you're like, oh my gosh, it just gives you chills to see that many people that are that are coaches and that their main goal and mission is to help other people get fit and healthy and find fulfillment in that. And it's so neat. So that is an awesome goal to have as a new coach. So a lot of times I have new coaches who are like, I just want to make back a little bit, in my first couple months. And so if that is your goal, then I want to make sure to just lay it out there. Success Club 5 would be your goal. To get technical with it, when you help somebody with a challenge pack, that's a program plus Shakeology, that is 2 Success Club points. When you help somebody just with Shakeology Home Direct, where they're getting it every month, that's also 2 points. Then there's a lot of other different, options as far as challenge packs go and things like that. But that's kind of your, if you're going to think about the number of it. But really, as you're sharing and as you're posting, I want you to see, who's really liking your post, who's commenting on them, who's asking you questions, and who's just kind of supporting you on your journey, because those are the kind of people that you want to help, that you want to invite to join you on this journey, whether you share with them your story a little bit, and that becomes kind of your people that you can help in those first couple months. So that's a little bit about Success Club and Success Starters. And again, there's a lot more training on that as you kind of get started and get more into all of your stuff. What goes along with that is your first, if you were to make your first goal as a coach for ranks. So again, this is in your training, but as you're going through and you're learning about, there's different ranks of a coach. There's, emerald coaches and ruby coaches and diamond coaches. And then it goes up there to star diamond coaches. And that just means, it's just a way of saying that they are growing their team, but they're also helping develop, leaders and helping develop coaches that want to do the same thing, that want to spread positivity and empowerment and confidence and, ending the trend of obesity and loneliness and things like that. They are helping other people to do that as well with it. So one of the first ranks as a coach that you can move up to, and it becomes important if you're also hitting Success Club, if you're also helping people every single month, is becoming an Emerald coach. So an Emerald coach is when it's you and you've got two coaches signed up with you, one on your left and one on your right. And that is being an Emerald coach. That means you have your first two coaches joining your little baby team. It's your first step in growing your team. And a lot of times, those two first coaches are family, friends, your spouse, people like that, become kind of your first supporters and just trust you. And they're like, hey, I want to get in on this with you. Or maybe you've been really good at sharing your story and sharing your journey and sharing about what coaching is doing for you and all the things that you've been able to incorporate in your life. A lot of times, the more that you do that, you guys, the easier it is to find people that want to join you and do the same thing, because they see how much joy it brings you. So that's why I stress so much, just one of the main things to be doing as a new coach is just focusing on sharing your story and just tuning in every single day consistently, because it's those little tiny consistent things over the course of time that will bring you success, that will make you successful, that will keep you just loving what you're doing every single day. And that's the most important thing. So, but when you are an Emerald coach, the last thing I want to say about that is the reason why it's awesome, if you're also helping people every single month, if you're also reaching Success Club 5 or 6 every single month, is because you actually get these things called free customers from Beachbody. So when you do that by the end of the month, Beachbody actually sends you people who sign up, via infomercials, or when you see people after your program where it says, do you need a Team Beachbody coach? Sign up for free here. Those people that sign up for a coach, that is the type of person that actually Beachbody gives you. So it's like a free customer that you get to connect with, reach out to, and help get started on their health and fitness journey. So it's kind of just something, it's called a free lead, but it's kind of an extra special perk to helping your 3 people a month, but also being your first rank as a coach. So that's something that a lot of new coaches are working towards as well within their first couple months as a coach. Any questions about that, about any of that stuff? I know it's so much information. Just kind of trying to touch on some of the main things that I always get questions about too. The last little thing I want to say too is with challenge groups, you're going to get a lot of training on that in your first couple modules after you kind of get past the first couple ones. But challenge groups, you guys all should be in a challenge group, whether you started as a challenger and just fell in love with it and, wanted to become a coach because you had such an amazing experience, or maybe you started as a coach because you just were like, I want to do that. And now you're in a challenge group as well while you're going through that. Either way, you will be eventually hosting your own type of challenge group like that. But as a new coach, I don't want for you to feel like you have to do that automatically or do that too soon, because that's when you can get overwhelmed. So I encourage you guys to talk with, and I know all of my new coaches, we've all been chatting about this, but encourage you to talk to your coaches and see, okay, when should I be hosting my first one? Maybe can I just invite to yours first? One of the great things that we always like to recommend first is that you actually do a free group. And a free group is something that could be 3, 5, 7 days long. And it's something completely free for people to join you. It makes it so much fun for them to just be able to get in. They don't have to pay any money. But what they do get is they get your attention and your coaching and your support for free. And they really get a glimpse into what it's like to work with you as their coach. And that's one of the greatest things. There was a time where I started to not do as many free groups when I was about, a year and a half, maybe 2 years into the business. And then I've actually started doing more of them recently because I really like them. I like getting to meet new people that way. It's so much fun. And it's just a really great time to be able to give them some value, whether it's like some kind of fitness related group or a clean eating group, or like even a hydration challenge is one of the best challenges people love. You literally just give them tips on how to get enough water in every single day, and you check in with them and everyone's posting their water bottles and stuff, and it's so easy and so fun. But it allows you to be their coach and to cheer them on and comment and give them tips and things. And so that's a really great way to start as a new coach. So if you're just itching to start coaching people, a free group is a great place to start. And a lot of times we always encourage you to kind of team up with a couple other coaches and you guys plan something, start sharing about it, make your post about it, get people interested, and then move forward with it and have a great time supporting people for free and letting them see what your challenge group is like. And then at the end of it is usually a great time to invite to a bigger, more accountability focused group, like a full challenge group that we would have all month long. So, okay, that's just a little bit about that. I see some questions coming on over to this side. Okay, Tia, I'm looking for you where you're at. I don't see you on the screen. Oh, there you are. Okay, so girlfriend, you are in Alaska. That's crazy. So it's only 4 p.m. right now. Oh, wow. Yeah, we have a lot of people who are on Pacific time too. So even them, they're 3 hours ahead of us here because I'm Eastern. But so for you, you have to kind of figure out where your main audience is. Do you have a lot of people that you are in contact with that are in Alaska? If not, then there may be on more other time zones, just kind of, that's where maybe planning out some of your posts would be really helpful. Kind of planning out some times that you could do things. There's actually some websites that even allow you to be able to post your post for you. One of them is Buffer, BUFFER.com, and that's a scheduler for your post. So if you were just to go online to buffer.com, you can actually put your picture in, put your words in, and have it ready to go and say, I want it to post at 6 p.m. Eastern time or whatever, and it'll post it for you. So those of you guys who are really busy or maybe have a time scheduling difference, that's a really great resource and tool that you can use to still be consistent, but to maybe make it a little bit easier on yourself. So that might be something that you could try, Tia. And then what if you can't find friends or family who are willing to sign up? A lot of times, so I'll be honest, there's something called a warm network and a cold net, or warm market and cold market. Warm market is like your friends and your family, the people who you feel just a little bit more warm with, right? You don't feel like you have to be all like political and share all the details and stuff. You can just be like, hey, dude, please do this for me. Will you please just spend this money and sign up with me, support me? Okay, so that's like your warm market. But then your cold market is people that you don't know, which is really funny because for me, I never had a warm market. I don't have any family or anyone signed up except for my husband as a coach. I don't have anyone who has ever really super supported me on this journey, other than just being like, yeah, go girl, that's awesome, you work out. I'm never buying that from you. So I have a lot of friends and family who still are not into that. And so for me, I've actually really enjoyed meeting new people. And a lot of that has been through Instagram. Because just like all of my new coaches here, all people that I met through Instagram or Facebook, because we just connected on things that we all had in common, different things that they liked of mine and things I liked of theirs. And it's just kind of how it happens. So, definitely don't get hung up on the friends and family thing, because it can actually be even more rewarding to find new people to connect with. And that's a great place to do that, is why we encourage you to be adding people to your network, adding new friends and talking to new people on Instagram and Facebook and things like that. So definitely don't get too hung up on just the friends and family thing, because not everybody, myself included, is is blessed enough to have a ton of friends and family who want to sign up with them. So it is possible, and I'm telling you that from experience because I'm still here and I don't have any friends or family really that ever signed up. I have some friends who maybe now, I've just been a coach for 2.5 years who have just now signed up for different things, which is crazy. So people watch you. They will watch you the more that you're consistent. Okay, so questions about advice when people cannot afford it. The problem I'm having is that I'm a young mom, so I don't really know how their young moms and stuff are getting started. Totally, Lauren. And again, I was worried about this too because I'm a young mom as well. Our team is very young, not very young, but we have way more. We're all 20s to 30s. And so that totally makes sense. Again, the more that you're sharing how much it's changing your life and just sharing your story is what really connects with people. People want to do something that works, right? Like for me, I used to go to the gym for hours and I never got the results that I have gotten from doing at-home programs, which totally has saved my life now being a mom. So for me, a lot of my posts are focused around that. And so for you as a mom of a newborn, that's something that you can totally share about. You would never be able to just go to the gym during the day. You'd have to figure out, okay, what do I do with my baby? How am I going to make this work? So sharing about stuff like that is going to naturally connect with all of those other moms that you know who, even if they would never think that they would spend, $140 on a fitness program or whatever, but they're going to because they're going to see how much this can totally save their life for them being able to be home. So you've got to think of like the positive spin that you can kind of put on it. And also when they come to you and they ask questions in there, this is for anybody too, people are concerned about the pricing and stuff, relate to them. I'm sure all of you guys didn't just like totally click at $199 and say, heck yeah, I'm just going to spend $200, right? You all kind of had to think about it and decide why this is the right decision for you. So talk about that too, say, hey, I totally understand. I know I thought it was a lot too, but once I started drinking Shakeology, adding a lot of value to everything is so, so important. And making sure that people understand your story too, relate to them. The more that you relate to them and share your feelings and kind of set them at ease, the more that helps so incredibly much to kind of put them at ease a little bit and help them to feel like you're not just selling to them. You really are being like, no, like seriously, it's changed my life. So let me tell you why. So the more that you can do that can help a lot. Okay, Anastasia is having issues with mobile enrollment. I filled out the form and it said the emails were sent. Are you talking about using like the mobile app, Anastasia? Where are you?
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Allie actually answered me. I guess she said the system's down this week. So I just sent it through BB Links just now and it worked.
Perfect. Yeah, you'll find that sometimes they'll choose the most random hours to update the websites and random times to have things down, and that's where you just kind of roll with it. But yes, actually I want to write these two things in here. So BB Links is an app that you can download on your phone. And also, if you go to simplecoachlinks.com, I cannot type and talk at the same time. So for you guys, I want y'all to write these down and save them. BB Links is if you're working from your phone a lot. It's a great app to use. What you do is you put your coach ID in, and literally every program or product that you could possibly need to send somebody, you just go and you just copy the link and you send it straight to them, and it sends them straight to your website to order with your coach ID attached to it. The same thing goes for simplecoachlinks.com. That's more if you're on the computer. So kind of I use both. It just kind of depends on where I'm working. But those are two really great ways to send people exactly to where you want to send them. Sending them the exact program or the exact link that they need, knowing that it's going to go to your website because your coach ID will be attached to it. So that's a really great place. One other thing I was just thinking about too that I totally forgot to send you guys to, and I want to screen share really fast, and then I'm going to let you guys go because I've kept you for an hour. I know we could talk for forever. Give me 2 seconds. I want to go to our file section in here. I want you guys to, I'm going to send you the link in our thread here as well. Let's see. I'll send it to the chat in just a minute. Oh wait, no, I can do it here. Okay, so this is let me know if you can click that or not. If not, this is in our team page, okay? This is our 3 steps to share Shakeology guide. As you guys are new coaches, one of the biggest things that you'll get the most kickback on is probably Shakeology and the cost of it, if you have not already gotten that. And so that's where you, as you guys are feeling super passionate about it and feeling all the changes that it's starting to make in your life, it's very important that you can share that with other people. So I do encourage you guys to take a look at this like I just showed you. It's in our Inspiration Crew team page. Just go to the files and it's the 3rd one down, the 3 steps to share Shakeology. And it gives you a bunch of awesome tools down to like videos that you can send people about Shakeology, different links for you to learn more about. This kind of stuff is great. Different ways to share about it instead, because I have a lot of new coaches that will say, I love Shakeology and I love what it's doing, but I don't know how to really talk about it. Like I don't know what to say about it. This gives you a lot of really great ideas and tips as far as, what it actually, does for your body and the actual nutritional facts and things like that for it. So I do encourage you guys to just kind of look through this over the next couple weeks. And when you have somebody who wants to know more about it and you're kind of at a standstill, this can kind of give you guys some more, ideas and options and things to kind of help give you some ideas on how you could share it with them. So I wanted to make sure to push that out to you really quickly before I forgot. Okay. Any other questions that anyone has? Feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question. I don't want to keep you too long, but I'm happy to answer anything else or just give you more tips or something. Anything? No? Because you're so quiet. I have some new coach calls where there's like hands everywhere, and then some where everyone's just like, me. No, nothing to say.
Actually, I have a question.
Oh, thank goodness, Jessica. Hey.
Okay. Hi. I've had a lot of questions the past couple of days. Sorry.
I was going to say, I should have known you would have a question.
I know. So I have 2 people that are interested. They want to be a part of your challenge group. So my question is, in the interim, how do I just, normally just coach them and give them advice and tell them that they're going to be, participating in your group and actually just pretend that it is my challenge group, kind of.
Yeah, well, and you can just be honest with them and say, yeah, okay, I'm so excited. I'm a brand new coach, but, I've been in a challenge group with my coach, Ashley, and she's invited us to join her in hers, so tell them something like that. You can tell them it starts on April 3rd, and so tell them, in the meantime, why don't we start looking through, a program for you to do, or, I think your girls have specifically chosen programs, right? They haven't done that. Yeah. So you could kind of, you could offer to get on a Zoom call with them and kind of go through like this, a video call like this, and go through some of the stuff with them, make sure they know how to find their meal plan and that kind of stuff. And just encourage them. What I always do, if there's kind of like this in between of somebody signed up while a current group is already going, but I've got a new group starting, is I just encourage them to kind of I'm like, hey, go try out some of the other programs on Beachbody On Demand, because she's got that free trial right now. They have 30 days free when they buy an actual challenge pack, even if it's just that one program. They get 30 days free. So encourage her to go look at some different programs and try them out and help her with her meal plan and stuff like that. And just let her know, okay, but I'll be adding you, by this week, because this weekend is when they'll be getting added to the April group. So you can just kind of let her know that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. That goes for any of you guys adding to my challenge group, my girls. Other questions?
Yeah, I got one. Another one. So I have one girl who I'm just about to sign up, and she already has like Beachbody login or whatever with other programs. And I sent her the BB links. If she clicks on the link and signs in her account, will it still take her through the process?
So she already has an account. Is she with a different coach?
No, she doesn't have a coach. She just had an account with like a couple different programs on it.
Oh yeah. Hold on one second. Sorry. It's my husband. Okay, you leaving? Okay. Okay, we're good. I had to make sure I had the monitor. Okay, so if they did not, so she does not have a coach, but she wants to sign up for a program.
Yeah, she's doing a challenge pack.
Oh, great. Yeah, she should be able to. If she's never bought a challenge pack before, then you can actually just send her the link to whatever program it is. Use Simple Coach Links or BB Links, and she should be able to go ahead and sign up for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Oh yeah, Lauren. Okay.
Okay, so this is a random question for like down the road, but it's just because I've had trouble in the past with it. When it comes to taxes, like at the end of the year, does Beachbody pull taxes out already from like your payments, like when you actually do start getting paid? Or
no, not yet. You'll get a 1099. They send you one every year at the end of the year. So next year you'll get a 1099. And if you have not made over, oh my gosh, I think it's like $800 or something like that, you do not pay taxes. But if you have, then you'll have your records and everything like that. So
yeah, I've had a lot of stuff happen in the past, so that was kind of like one of my first questions.
One of the things to think about. Yeah, so you'll get a 1099 at the end of the year, and you don't even have to ask for it or anything. They just send it straight to you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. All right, ladies. Anything else? You guys are all in new coach threads and different things like that. If you're not, please let somebody know so that we can get you in a thread for some support. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a picture of all you guys. I know half of them already hopped off, so we had a whole other page. I don't know where they went, but those of y'all who are here, so I like to do this at the end of our call so I can just have a little screenshot really quickly. So any of you guys who are like on the phone and want to click your face on for a second, you can. But it's kind of fun to be able to have a little screenshot. You guys probably see a lot of us other coaches will post pictures like this and be like, oh my gosh, this was so much fun. I just spent an hour with my new girlfriends on a video chat. Like, how weird is that? But how cool is that? So you can share about things like that too. It makes an easy way to share about coaching without having to have a bunch of other crazy things. So, okay. Everyone always fixes their hair and tries to look good, and I'm always like, just finished a workout. Okay, all right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I will post this in our team page underneath the graphic that I had from tonight. I'll post this, and I will also post a recording of this. So if you just feel like you need this information again, feel free. There's also previous new coach calls, but I think it gets better every single time I give them. So I probably remembered more on this one than I did on the last one. So, but I hope you guys are having a great time being new coaches. And please, please, please know that the biggest thing to do as a new coach is to be consistent and share your journey, and also ask for help. Ask lots of questions. We totally love that, and we want you to. So the more that you ask more questions, the more that you're going to get more confident and not feel lost or alone or anything like that. We promise we don't care. I don't care. So, and I know that Allie and Maggie don't care. So, okay, you guys. So I hope you'll have a good night, and I will talk to you soon. I'll upload this once it's ready. Okay? Bye.